Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the Wattrose Business Center and the finals of our entrepreneurship competition. This is a wonderful time to gather in this great room, and I want to begin by congratulating all of our students here today. So please join me in a round of applause for these young entrepreneurs. I want to thank their teacher, Mr. Saunders, for leading this competition since the fall, working with these students, then going in different rounds of the in-class competitions and bringing us where we are today. So thank you, Mr. Saunders, for that. I'd like to thank Mr. Spiegel, Mr. Frank's back there as well, Mary Patera, Claire Quinn, and of course, Mr. McElhaney for all their help and support. So thank you very much. And I also want to welcome our esteemed judges tonight. Thank you for putting time aside for this. Thank you for being here. We're going to do more of a proper introduction of you and your backgrounds momentarily, but thank you for joining us tonight. It's great to have you here. Housekeeping. We have plenty of food here tonight, as you can see. So as long as no one is presenting, you're more than welcome to stand up and go refresh your plates or get some refreshments, then come back down. We're not going to do too much mixing and mingling afterwards because it's a school night afterwards. So we want to make sure the boys get home okay and everything else like that. But please make yourself at home and enjoy some of the food that we prepared here tonight. And now it is my pleasure to introduce to you the entrepreneurship teacher at Bergen Catholic High School, Mr. Rich Saunders. Rich?
Thank you, Dr. Mahoney, and thank you, parents, for coming out to watch what your sons have been working on all year long. This process really started back in September when they first learned what entrepreneurship was all about, and we started going through a lot of different concepts that they needed to learn in order to put the presentations you're going to see tonight together. Everything that we have done from day one is really culminated in these presentations. So they've worked very hard all year long to do that. I think you'll be pretty impressed with some of the ideas and presentations that they come up with. Before we begin, just a little background on the program itself. I've been teaching this now for 5 years. It started basically when Mr. McElhaney called me up and said, we're starting an entrepreneurship program, and guess what? You're teaching it. So they sent me down to Delaware for a couple of days because this is a dual enrollment class. In other words, they take a course for credit here. They also getting college credit through the University of Delaware, who kind of sets up the entire curriculum for us. And I think just about all the guys who are working tonight are up for dual enrollment credit from Delaware, which they can use at whatever school they go to. So they got one leg up on that. As I said, I've been teaching it for 5 years. The program gets bigger and bigger and better every year. I started out with about 25 kids the first year. This year I think I have close to 65 in 2 separate classes. So we started out with a total of about 17 teams presenting in the 2 classes, and what we did is we had each class have its own semifinal competition, had some judges some teachers act as judges, and they picked the top 3 from each team, from each class, who are presenting tonight. If you count the pages, there's 7 teams presenting tonight because there are actually 2 tracks in this competition. There's a business venture track, which most of the teams are in. There is also a social venture track, and we had 1 team in that presenting. We had 2 teams actually presenting, and the best of those 2 teams is here tonight as well. So we figured since they are competing for cash awards, we would like to give them the opportunity to compete for that as well, so they don't feel left out, because the cash prizes are a little significant. The first place team tonight gets $1,000 that they can split amongst themselves any way they want. Second place is getting $500, third place $250. Thanks to our generous alums who put that together for us. Our judges tonight. First, seated over here on the far right is Mr. Paul Doherty. He is a member of the class of 1986 here at Bergen. He is a managing partner and co-founder of the law firm Hartman, Doherty et al., based in Hackensack, right?
Correct.
I think when I was practicing law, I must have had a couple of things with them way back when we were all much younger.
That's right.
And he is also the co-founder of Freedom Bank. The judges' full bios, by the way, are in the programs that you have in front of you. Our second judge on the far left is Mr. Joseph Davi, class of '88. He is the founder and CEO of MedMetrics. I read the description of that, and I have no idea what he does.
That's part of our business plan.
So if you want to know what he does, please feel free to grab him sometime during the evening and ask him. What it says in here is that, and I need my glasses to figure that out, it's a 3,500 plus employee company, which tells you that he's very successful. A technology-enabled revenue cycle management firm that works with hospitals and physicians to help improve their financial and operational performance. Now, if you could tell me what that means, I'd be very happy.
So we get an F on messaging then.
Yeah.
If you can't understand.
You
what
need
we
to
have
come
do.
back
Yeah,
and sit in my class for a little bit.
Okay.
And then last but not least in the center is Mr. A.J. Condemi, class of 2021. He is currently a senior at Union College and the founder of a company called Flick. Flick is an app that was actually started here in this class. AJ is one of my students, one of my first students in this class. He was in this very same competition with the Flick app as his venture, and finished second. He was so angry. I thought he was going to hate me forever. But as it turns out, he was determined, actually made him more determined to make Flick a real viable product, and he's been working on that ever since. He had his initial rollout at our state championship game at MetLife Stadium back in November, and it's still going strong. So for you guys in the back and for you parents who think that this is just some class project, it's a lot more than that. So without any further ado, I'd like our first team to come in. There are descriptions in your program, brief descriptions of all the presentations you're going to see tonight. They're in the order of presentation. And our first presenters are a company known as Tutor to Go. Gentlemen. The format, by the way, is kind of like a Shark Tank. There you have a 5-minute presentation, and that will be followed by 3 minutes of Q&A with the judges. So the time we try and keep very strict to the 5 minutes and the 3 minutes. Otherwise, we'll be here till next week because there's an awful lot of interest in this stuff. So when you guys are ready, I will be off to the side here.
All right. So, in almost every single high school in the country, students face at least one of these two problems, which is students facing challenges academically and those struggling to balance school and activities with a part-time job. Now, of course, there's already a solution to this, which is tutoring.
But tutoring comes along with many problems. One of the main problems is that it's very time-consuming due to unnecessary reasons. One of these reasons is that the tutor and the student have to commute to meet each other oftentimes. Oftentimes, tutors also charge too much, and it's unaffordable for the student. and most of the time, students are embarrassed to ask for help. This is why we came up with our solution,
Tutor to Go by me, William Nicholas.
Archie idea.
and Brendan O'Rourke. Our solution is to create a platform where students who are struggling in certain subjects can access peer tutoring for affordable prices. At the same time, students who are excelling in certain subjects can make money on the side, as well as having an activity to put on their college application. The way this works is that both parties join in a video chat on our platform, and from there they can engage in an online tutoring session.
So an example of our website would be this, which is a video camera which has the tutor and the student in sort of a webcam / video call, and in the interactive text box they can ask any questions that they have, and on the whiteboard they can have like demonstrations and notes that they may have for whatever subject they're struggling with.
And here's an overview of what our website would look like. As you can see on the top left is a user profile. It shows a description of the student, as well as their age and their name. It also shows what subjects they are currently struggling in and what they need help in, and that's how tutors and students are able to meet up and see what they're both struggling in but excelling in. Here is the tutors. Right below it is the tutoring section, where it shows the tutors. Same exact thing as the user profile, shows the name and description. Then it also shows here what subjects they're excelling in, so that they can meet up through that. And on top right is the video call, which my partner Will Nicholas showed you all. It's our interactive, immersive section of our website, where it shows, it's like an interactive part where you're able to meet online and learn what you need to learn, like from the comfort of your own home. And here is the menu section on the bottom right, where you can switch from tab to tab, like I am right now.
So on our second tab, on our top left, we have our rating. At the end of each tutoring session, the student will receive a survey where they can leave feedback, criticism, and they rate their tutor on a 1 to 5 star scale. This way we can monitor our tutors and make sure that they're doing their job effectively. On the top right, we have the subject pick. From here, we have a variety of subjects to pick, as well as tutoring for standardized tests. On the bottom left, we have the job application. The way this works is that prospective tutors, they can go through our application, and this includes an interview where they do a mock lesson to make sure that they know how to tutor effectively, as well as a review of their transcripts and their grades. On the bottom right, we have our data section. This is where students who had tutoring sessions, they can go through the notes that they took with their tutor, and they can go through recordings that they had with their tutoring. But this is only available on our premium subscription, which we explain in this slide.
And over here you can see is our cost structure. It's broken down into 3 subsections. On the far left, you can see it's $30 for 30 minutes. It can either be an introduction to your tutor, or it can be a quick, easy meet up with your tutor. You have a concept that you need to learn the next day for a quiz, but you don't understand it. You can easily go here and learn what you need to learn quickly. And in the middle is a $50 per hour, which is the classic. Just like any other tutoring, you pay hourly, and you pay them on right there. And our price is $50. We plan for both of these prices to be split 50-50 with us and the tutors.
Our third cost structure is our premium version. This is cost $25 per month. This takes away all the ads from the student's perspective. They also have priority access to the tutors, and they also, as mentioned before, they have access to our data section.
And then finally, our startup cost would be roughly $50,000. So this would be getting the URL link, customizing the website, finding a company that may use the website and distribute the website, and also being able to get tutors for our website. Thank you.
That's it. Any questions?
Sure. I guess my first question is, how did you arrive at the $25 per month price point when it's $30 for 30 minutes? That seems like it's not quite matching up to me.
Well, it's sort of just a startup for our membership part. We haven't really worked it out. Honestly, we just kind of eyeballed what these prices would be. We're obviously going to change it possibly now with your point. But our idea with this was that a traditional tutoring is about $100 per hour, depending on the tutor. And since we're doing $50 per hour, 50 plus 25 is 75. So we still wanted it to be a cheaper alternative to a normal tutor, and that was our original thought process with that. But
So the $25 is really intended as a subscription cost that just rolls over.
yes,
And then is the student going to pay for each tutoring session that they then use.
Yeah, so it
Okay.
might build up over time, but you know, just like traditional tutoring, it's gonna also build up.
Right. Okay, thanks.
First of all, great presentation, guys. The slides were really clean. You guys had some great designs on there, and it looked really nice. It was really easy to follow. All that stuff is really important, and you guys spoke really clearly. All that stuff is really important. Don't overlook that stuff. Really good job.
Thank you.
I had a question about the advertisements, and like as a student going to a tutoring session, like do you think advertisements is probably the best thing to have on the screen? Like you're already getting a subscription cost. Like how viable do you think the advertisements are as a stream of revenue for you guys?
Well, our original thought process was the ads were going to be in like the menu area. You know, you would scroll from tutor to tutor, but there would be ads on the sides, or maybe we didn't really think that there would be like ads in the actual meetup. But you know, we're sort of like thinking through that right now. But if anything, I feel like we wouldn't add the ads into the actual like meetup virtually because it's just like it's unnecessary in my opinion. But that was our original.
Yeah. Thank you. Great job, guys.
Thank you.
Guys, I echo AJ's comments. Solid content, great presentation, sharp and crisp. I really like the idea of taking what is generally considered a cottage business where you'll have independent people out making relationships to do tutoring with a family or a student and aggregating that and rolling it up and doing it at scale. I think Paul's point about price point, right? You have to think about price elasticity in the sense of, well, what is the market for this, right? You can't just say we're going to charge less, right? Because you've got cost of goods sold, right? You're thinking a 50-50 split with the tutors. They're willing to give up some amount of what they would otherwise get because they've got work lined up for them rather than sporadic things that they may have to source on their own. So there is some value that they would share with you, but you probably need to do a little bit more testing on the market to see what is the right price point. You don't necessarily need to be cheaper if you're providing a good quality product on demand. I have two questions for you. From a delivery standpoint, would students that are getting a tutor be able to count on continuity with that tutor, right? You start with them on a certain subject matter and that you would expect to have them for subsequent sessions?
Yes. So that's what we'd expect, and then the way we, try to make sure that nobody undercuts us is that when we hire a tutor, we kind of have them sign a contract, so it says that they can't leave our business and then tutor them, on the side, so that they stay through, they stay doing it on our platform.
Well, there will be some of that. There will be some leakage, but I would think that the idea of having recurring opportunities for the tutors would be a disincentive for them to try and run you and disintermediate you. And I love the fact that it's not capital intensive. There's no technology, real investment other than standing at the website. But my big question is, how do you plan to source customers?
Well, our plan to get customers is originally advertising through schooling, through Quizlet, when people are studying the most. Parents as well, we're able to find them because students are not really likely to go out of their way to find a tutor. It's more like the parents, but either or. And we're also planning on trying to find students who don't have time to find a job, really. We're also focusing towards the tutors themselves. For example, for me, I'm juggling after school an internship or activities, the gym, hanging out with friends. I don't really have time for 4 hours every day for a part-time job. So this would be perfect for me. It's also a thing you can put on your college application. It's perfect for that. So we try and target excelling students through advertisements on like I said, Quizlet, and social media too, where students would most likely be on Snapchat, Instagram, all of that. And we're just trying to branch out through different organizations and social media platforms to just get as much customers as we possibly can. And that's our plan as of right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, guys. Okay, our next presenters are the Safe Sip Breath Tracker.
Mike, how do you do the airplane? How do you do the airplane? Hi, I'm Owen Fernandez. I'm committed to Union College to play football.
Hi, I'm Anthony Ross. I'm committed to Rutgers University for football.
I'm Michael Poem. I'm committed to Franklin and Marshall for football, and we are
Safe
Safe
Sip. The facts. 31% of car crashes have been caused by drunk drivers in America. Over the 10-year period from 2012 to 2021, on the average, about 10,850 people died every year in drunk driving crashes. Every day, about 37 people in the United States die in drunk driving crashes. That's one person every 39 minutes. On average, roughly 2 to 4 drinks can bring people to a 0.08 blood alcohol content.
scenario here. Let's say Owen and Anthony are of the legal drinking age. They have a great evening at the local bar, catching up with friends, enjoying a few drinks. They weren't sure if they're in any condition to drive home, though. Owen decided to be responsible. He reaches into his pocket, pulls out the Safe Sip. He blew into the device and confirmed what he suspected. He was over the legal limit. Through our app, he gets a ride share from Uber and quickly goes home safely. Anthony, on the other hand, insists he is all right to drive. 5 minutes into his risky drive home, Anthony rolls through a stop sign, causing the cop behind him to pull him over. Once the cop smells alcohol in his breath, he goes through a DUI test and he fails. This poor decision costs Anthony thousands of dollars, up to $10,000 in DUI fees, and a record for drunk driving. Sorry.
Introducing SafeSip, your pocket guardian. Our newly innovative product, the SafeSip Breath Tracker, is a portable breathalyzer created to make monitoring your blood alcohol content, BAC, stress-free and easy. With our product, you can test your BAC with just a plug in your phone.
How our product works. Once you download our app, you plug the device into your phone, and once you plug it in, you blow into it. Your blood alcohol content will show up on your phone screen. Our app will log every time you take a test, and also log how many drinks you've consumed. Over time, the app will kind of realize like how many drinks it takes you to get drunk and start to log that all for you and give you notifications over time on like when you should stop drinking, how many drinks you're at, and all that kind of stuff.
So our target audience, social drinkers. After a long night out with friends, safely getting home is their priority. That's social drinkers. Partiers, a little different. Safely enjoy a frat party, celebration, and more without the worries of a dangerous ride home because you have the Safe Sip in your pocket. And recovering alcoholics, this is something we could reach out to. Recovering alcoholics say it's they can't really stop drinking. They have to log the drinks on their phone, and that can help them recover and safely.
How we'll profit from our product. Our product's price will range from $60 to $75, with a monthly subscription available to consumers through our app. With this subscription, you'll receive a new breathalyzer every 4 to 5 months to ensure the product's accuracy. Additionally, partnership with local businesses, insurance companies, and law enforcement agencies can further contribute to our revenue. What differs us from others? What sets the Safe Sip apart is its convenient and beneficial approach to responsible drinking. Unlike other alternatives, our product combines accuracy with easy transport, enabling consumers to make the right decision about their alcohol consumption.
Our company mission. Our team is determined to promote safe driving throughout all age groups. Along with this, we want to reduce drunk driving accidents that not only harm people but can also kill. Additionally, we want to reach out to recovering addicts and people who suffer from alcohol problems to help control themselves in a safe manner. We want to help keep the world a safer place one breath at a time.
So the next step, so further down the road, as we said before, we would like to partnership, say, on our app, if you blow over or 0.08 or over, something pops up on the screen. It's a link to a rideshare app that we've partnered with, and it'll give you, say, 15% off on a ride home, just so that if you have a subscription on our app, that gives you benefits from when you need a ride home. So as we said, that's a partnership that we could do. There's other insurance partnerships. So say if you're driving safely, they give you something back just to know that you're safe, so you're saving money on your insurance. And That's really it.
Yeah, that's it. Questions?
Sure. Great presentation, guys. Really cool idea. I have seen, having 3 teenage and older children now, my wife has her own pocket breathalyzer. It doesn't plug into her phone though, and I could see where this would be more convenient. Have you done any, and by the way, I love the marketing plan of partnering with insurance companies, particularly car insurance companies, right? That's a great way where they could really help you reach the masses. I love the ride share concept where there's some potential revenue share with you and some discount for the customers. So if I understand correctly, there's an initial cost of acquisition of the product.
Yes.
And then a monthly subscription.
So it'll be like 2 plans. The free will just give you like as you blow into it, just so the product works. It'll show you your blood alcohol content and everything. And then with the subscription, that's when you get like discounts on rideshare companies. If you blow over, it'll log everything for you and kind of like manage itself almost.
Okay.
And also to make sure it's accurate, if you have a subscription, you could file to get a new one every 3-4 months just to make sure the product's accurate.
Yeah, I suspect you'll have to do a little bit more diligence on figuring out a subscription fee, right?
Yeah.
Because people are going to weigh, what do I get in exchange for what do I pay,
Yeah.
in addition to just being able to blow, right? But so 60 to 75 to market it. What do you expect the cost of manufacturing would be?
To make money on it, obviously would have to be more than obviously manufacturing. So it'd be around $50 to $60, and every single we'd have to reach out to a manufacturer just to see that price, but that's just around $50 to $60 around that.
Okay. One suggestion, when you think about your cost versus what you sell it for,
Yeah.
right? That sounded like a 20% kind of margin. You want to look for a margin that's significantly higher on
Yeah.
you know, physical inventory like that. But great idea, good presentation. Thank you.
Yeah, great job, guys. Really good presentation, good slides, clean. I guess a lot of my questions came from the cost of production. I think the idea itself is actually a really good idea, and I'm not. Is there some like what do you have you identified any competitors?
There are smaller there are smaller breathalyzers that fit in your pocket and everything. They're just kind of their own item, you know, like it shows up on the screen. Like the whole thing that sets us apart is it's a lot smaller. You don't have to charge. You don't have to worry about batteries or anything. Plugs right in your phone, and then the app. You know, you'll be able to log everything through that. It'll start to log it for you and kind of manage itself.
Okay, very cool. Do you have any idea how it would like work in such a like if it's so much smaller? Do you know if it's feasible for it to? Tell
Yeah,
that
so
kind of information?
there are they're like little motherboards that are able to like it's for like smaller breathalyzers and everything. So that would be our plan. Like it gets the power from the phone, obviously, and then do that. It kind of just connects to everything.
Got it. All right, very cool. Good job, guys.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, great job, guys. So I guess the only comment I really have, because Joe actually stole what the questions I was thinking about, would be just from the presentation standpoint. Like I like the way you're doing the Q&A more than the way you did the presentation. So I think one thing that's really hard to do is to not read, right? So what I try to do when I do these presentations is rather than having text that's in paragraph form, I do bullet points because I think people find that much more compelling.
Yeah.
And then what I try to do is just talk off and around the bullet point, as opposed to just reading text into the record, as we'd say as attorneys.
Yeah.
But great job, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I would disconnect. Alright, cool.
Okay, group number 3 is a product named Class Crates. Gentlemen.
Donatita Nyambauro.
I'm Michael Kim.
And I'm Anthony Napolitano. As imperfect people, we all know the struggle of an unprepared student. Whether you forgot to charge your device or you never even bought a pen, an imperfect student can put a damper on the day and limit the classroom opportunities. Here at Class Crates, we're looking to regain control of preparation.
We aim to solve the issues of students who are unprepared in the classroom, and we also aim to solve the issues of students who are unable to access certain educational resources. We also aim to solve the issues of affordability and efficiency. Our main customer base will consist of parents of high school students and college students, but we will also aim to target families who are unable to access certain educational resources. We are solving problems that many parents and students face are that school supplies are not affordable. We are solving that problem by selling crates at a lower price than our competitors, while also letting our customers shop from the comfort of their homes. We will also provide fast shipping that will take 3 to 4 days to arrive at your residency.
Over time, school supplies has gotten more and more expensive. Schools have made advancements in the classroom and upgraded technology. Class Crates is looking to adapt to the new school environment. A base supply box would cost around $120. Any additional supplies that you add onto your cart will bring up the price. Some of that additional supplies that we offer are graphing and scientific calculators, device chargers, and device cases, etc. This supplies is specific to the subjects that whoever is buying these things are, taking. So if you're taking English, maybe you need a notebook, but you don't need a calculator. If you look on the screen, that's an example of one of our competitors' boxes. If you look closely, you'll see some watercolor paint, a pair of scissors, and a glue sticks. As a student myself, I cannot remember the last time I did any of those things in a classroom. They're underwhelming and impractical. This makes our competitors' boxes obsolete.
Our unique value. So right now, the only school supply boxes available for high school and college students are expensive and needless, and they include items such as colored pencils and crayons. With our product, customers can pick and choose what they want from the comfort of their home. Using our product, customers can distinguish themselves by emphasizing flexibility and cost, and by ordering the stuff from the comfort of their home. The profit. We will make our money by buying our supplies at wholesale prices and then selling them for a markup. This venture's economic foundation is based on our strategic sourcing and pricing. Using leverage wholesale rates, it will enable us to purchase school supplies at a lesser cost by taking advantage of our box savings. These supplies will then be used to be sold at a reasonable markup via our online platform. Why are we doing this? So the two most important things for humans are time and money, and we don't want our customers to waste that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create the product, and we want our customers to be able to design the school supply boxes based on whatever courses they're taking, their academic level, and what they want, like their personal preferences. This customization will allow users to make their decisions and reduce the likelihood of unwanted purchases. That's it.
That's a problem.
Great job, guys. I guess as someone who's got older kids, I'm not really sure where is the current distribution point for these types of crates? Like, is it something when you walk in the first day in school, it's sitting on your desk, or do you buy it at a store? How does that work currently?
Well, you'll buy it from the comfort of your own home, so it's all online. Talking about schools, one thing that we looked into was partnering. So partnering with different schools, like let's say we want to partner with Bergen Catholic. If Mr. Saunders' class has a certain list for school supplies, and maybe they email us and we make the box. So any student in Mr. Saunders' class can come to us and know exactly what they need.
So I have two questions. So you kind of answered one of them where Mr. Saunders would have a box that he would make. So would every student need a box for each class?
No. So that's a possibility. Like, I mean, if you need, like, if you don't take a math class, then you're not going to need a calculator. So that's not something, or like I don't, like, this year I'm a senior and I don't take a science, so I don't need a scientific calculator.
So a follow-up to that is, do I get to, like, because if Mr. Saunders creates a box, I could get that box. But what if I personally need a calculator and something for a science class, but my science professor doesn't make a box? Do I get to pick what's in my box, and will that, like, make the cost go up as I put things in? Or is there, like, a set cost that I have, like a threshold that I can't overgo?
You can absolutely pick what you put in the box, but yes, it will bring the price up, as mentioned in the pricing slide. Any additional supplies, such as, a TI-83, which is more expensive than a basic calculator, yes, that will bring the price up.
Thank you.
So good job, guys. Good presentation. I have a couple concerns about the execution. I just wonder, the logistics required to do this at scale probably be time consuming and expensive to build. The lack of scale also will probably make it difficult to buy these supplies at a big enough discount relative to what you'd be able to market up. That's at first blush some of the skeptical devil's advocate in me. My big question is, why does somebody need this business to exist? If Mr. Sanders has a list of supplies that somebody would need when they come in the first day, why can't somebody's parent or the kid themselves go online to Amazon and do all this in 5 minutes?
Well, it's time consuming, and it doesn't necessarily cater exactly to what Mr. Saunders wants. So if I'm going on Amazon, there are plenty of different things, but if Mr. Saunders wants something specific, then I have to get that.
Okay.
It's time, guys.
Great job, guys.
Thank you, guys.
All right, coming up next is a group with a company called Expire.
I'm just praying this works.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Expire. Meet Sophie. Sophie is a mother of 3 children who grocery shops weekly. One of her challenges is that she can't keep track of her food's expiration dates, which is why she's looking for a quick and easy way to do so. The problem we are trying to solve is that people all around the world are wasting too much food, and with our app, we aim to address this problem and decrease the amount of food being wasted.
This fact, as you see on the board here, is one of the main reasons why we decided to go down this path. In the United States today, people waste 80 million tons of food every year, which equals 149 billion meals. They throw away over $444 billion worth of food. That is crazy, which means they waste 38% of all food in America. So again, this fact shows why this problem is in dire need of a solution. That's where we come in.
So you may be wondering, how does our app work? Well, our process is easy. All you have to do is download the Expire app, take a picture of your receipt, or scan your receipt, and then you're ready to track your food.
So our solution, as you can see on the board there, our app has many different features. Easy access to your past purchases, personalized page with saved receipts, coupons, and your favorite purchases from grocery stores you go to all the time. And you can view all your food's expiration dates as well, and the scanner for receipts and coupons. And lucky for you guys today, we have an actual prototype of our app, which Nick will show you right now.
Welcome to Expire. As you see here, we have multiple ways where you can log into our app. Here is your basic page where you can see all your listed items above up top. As you can see where my cursor is, we have the 4 main food groups. Here is our camera feature where you would be able to scan your receipt. Over here we have our coupons where you can track current deals that we have with our partnered stores. And last but not least, we have our notification slide where you'll be able to see, for example, canned fish expiring in 2 days. It'll give you a notification as to when you should use your items and how long they'll be good for.
So now you might be wondering how we plan on monetizing our app. As you just saw, we have the coupons listed, and we plan on partnering with certain stores, and they would be able to post their coupons, and therefore it would draw in our users to their stores.
So you may be wondering, how are we different? Our app goes beyond the basic functionality of tracking your food purchases. As my partner Justin mentioned, we plan to partner with grocery stores to give you access to special coupons to save you lots of money. Along with this, we plan to utilize AI to not only keep track of your recent inputs, but to suggest recipes and meals for you to use to not only save you time, but also money.
So our marketing examples. So our target audience is the people in the family who go grocery shopping. Typically, the moms in the family, dads as well, not saying anything against that. So basically, we aim to where they spend most of their time, which of course is social media. So our main 2 marketing places we want to go to would be Facebook and Instagram. And of course, spreading facts, like the one I said later, would be a great marketing strategy.
And you may be wondering, why now? Thankfully, the answer is very simple. We want to address the pressing issue of food waste, especially in the United States, where 40% of the global food is wasted annually. That's equal to 60 million tons of food wasted per year, and that trickles down to 325 pounds of food waste per person. By acting now, we hope to contribute significantly to the global effort to lessen the environmental and social impacts of excessive food waste and promote a more sustainable future. Thank you.
Sure. Love the enthusiasm, guys. Good presentation. App prototype was hot, slick, was good. So, if I'm following correctly, the thought process is that a lot of food gets wasted because people are throwing food away before it expires.
Well, not necessarily before it expires, but people won't pay attention to what's in their fridge. They'll go to the back of the fridge, find a can of fish, and it's been expired for 2 years. That's just a waste.
So I hear you. Okay, so how much, as a generally lazy person, right? I work hard, but then when I go home, I don't want to think about stuff, right? And so I'm certainly not going to take the time, even with the barcode, to swipe things in, right? Right. If I'm actually thinking about how old is this, which I generally don't, I would look and see if it's expired, and if it's sometime within a reasonable period, I'm still eating it. I'll use the taste test. But it seems like a fair amount of additional time that somebody would have to invest to create the inventory system such that the app would be of value to them.
Well, it's actually just your receipt. So as soon as you're done at the grocery store, you just scan your receipt, and everything would just show up on your app. So it's really minimizing actual
So nobody
time.
has to enter, I bought this, and then this is when it
So,
expires.
yeah, you can, but what we hope to do is we aim to partner with stores as well to get their inventory. So we'll be able to know as well, and we'll keep track of your receipts. So we'll be able to know, you scan your receipt and everything is inputted automatically. We're trying to make it a very seamless process, but you can also input them manually.
Cool. Okay. I'd suggest manual entry is
too much
time consuming and error prone. What's the revenue model?
So originally we were planning on partnering with certain stores like ShopRite, but if that didn't seem to generate enough income or profits, then we would move to a subscription-based monetization system, and there'd be more options, and the app would have a lot more features with a subscription.
Helpful. Thank you.
Guys, great job on the Figma. That was really impressive. That was really good stuff. Having a prototype for stuff like this is huge. Making it feasible, something you could touch, is huge. So that was really good job on that. I guess I had a question about the ad revenue, the revenue as well. So would you you would partner with something like a ShopRite, but then how would ShopRite know to use Expire? Like what's enticing for them about Expire?
So, like we said, like we mentioned, we would have specific coupons for certain stores. Like that would, in a way, bring people to the stores saying, "Oh, I get to save extra money," right? Like who doesn't want to save money? You get to save extra money. You go to your local shop, right? Instead of just getting 10% off, you get 15% off. It entices people to go more, and in turn, it would generate more revenue for the stores.
All right, great job, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, really strong presentation. I love the X and Expire, leading with that, a little Elon Musk there for you. I love the hourglass and the sand coming down to indicate the whole concept. So I think your marketing and the presentation was really strong. The one thing I was thinking about is, though, when you run through it, you're looking at a business and you look at strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Was the threats piece of it? Because it seems to me that the food industry wants that food to expire, right? So that's going to be a challenge, I think, when you go to partner up with people like ShopRite, because when the mayo expires, right, mom's got to go buy another jar of mayo. So just something to think about on the threat side for you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Good job, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we have 3 more groups left. Next up is Hobby Hunter.
Who's gonna share? So put yours over here. Put yours on the right. No, that's the wrong one.
So welcome to our idea. This is hobbyhunter.com, and I'm Kyle Brooks.
I'm Joseph Rosenbaum.
I'm John Paul Sinagra. So, what is hobbyhunter.com? So our product overview, hobbyhunter.com is a website built for people to learn new skills. The website gives people the tools to be able to learn whatever new skills that they want. For example, say I wanted to learn magic. I'll be provided step-by-step lessons and a certified magician to help me along the way to master magic. I would also be sent all the tools that I would need to master magic.
So just more overall view of the website itself. So, for example, like you said, magic, or I want to learn how to play an instrument. That's also another tool that you can learn on our website. Or trying to refine your culinary skills or learn how to cook in general. Another example could be learning how to take pictures, any sort of photography, anything like that, and lots of other options for ways to learn things.
Our product overview. So basically, we have a.
Bro, you're on the wrong slide.
So basically, our product overview. This is what it would look like. We'd have like all of this like settled out, and what it would cost for like the hours, and the cost for which hour, and like the
basically which hour what it would cost. So what sets us apart from other companies that have similar ideas to us is that we give you more options on how to learn something. So for example, some other companies might give you just pre-recorded videos that pertains to what you're trying to learn, but we give you just more than that. We give you one-on-one tutoring sessions, videos as well, and also a chat system where people can leave comments on things that they've learned, and it could be helpful for the person that's trying to learn it to understand what other people thought and get feedback from others that have already learned the skill.
Our product is for people who find life that might be boring or repetitive, like you're stuck in a constant cycle with nothing to do. And finding new hobbies can be very difficult as there's a vast amount of things you can partake in. So our website comes into play is advertising all the different hobbies that we teach. And what's next? Our target audience, enthusiastic beginners, those intrigued by various hobbies but unsure where to start, lifelong learners, individuals who enjoy continuous personal development and love exploring new skills, people switching careers, people aiming to pivot careers or add supplementary skills to enhance their professional prospects, students and hobbyists, those seeking extracurricular or leisure activities to engage in, and self-improvement seekers, individuals interested in self-improvement or personal growth through skill acquisition. Our revenue, how we're planning on generating revenue. Hobby Hunter will operate on a monthly subscription that, when purchased, will give users access to every hobby offered on the website. During our trial run, we will offer a base membership for $50 a month or a pay per lesson based on the length and complexity. There will also be an option for an increased price to purchase a kit that goes along with its respective hobby to supply any needed tools or supplies. Our secondary plan on generating revenue is partnering with schools. This will allow us to charge them a large monthly or yearly subscription fee, which gives their students access to our website and all of its features. This not only generates revenue, but advertises our company. This is our estimated cost breakdown with a total of around $17,000 to start up the website with content and teachers.
And that's all right. So thank you.
Great job, guys. I liked the presentation. It was very slick. And I also like the idea to sell the ancillary products that are going to go with the hobby, because I think that is a great way to monetize this type of site. Once people get addicted to whatever it is, be it music, they will pay to buy the best guitar. So I think that was a really good idea. I think this shares a lot of the same challenges that you had with the Tutors to Go presentation. So I'd be interested in two things, which is, one is how you're going to source the experts that are going to teach the class, and then the other important consideration is going to be how much of each dollar are you going to share with the person who's actually teaching the hobby. So I'll turn it over to you guys for those questions.
For finding our teachers, we're mainly going to use websites and apps like Indeed for them to put their resume out, and then to have our teams go through for people looking for a secondary job, ones who might be teachers but on the side they love fishing and they want to turn fishing into a money-making opportunity. So that's who we're looking for to teach.
Yeah, and then so in specific with your example with music, another way we could find teachers is someone that already teaches at, say, a music school, and come to them with our idea and say, would you want to be able to share your skills online and take it to our website?
Great job, guys. So I have one question, and then I guess a few more things. But so could you do it with friends? Because a big thing of hobbies is obviously doing it with the people you want to be around. So I think something that could be cool for you guys is maybe doing a group session. That could be something that could be cool with your friends, because doing things with your friends is just automatically better. And then second, is this like a live video chat or is this a pre-recorded video? What kind of, like, how are they communicating their
Yeah, no,
expertise?
definitely. We focus on live. It could be one-on-one, but if you have friends, obviously with Zoom, you can join together. Because there are a lot of companies now, and especially with like YouTube, where you can go online and find a video. But we plan on using one-on-one or one-on-one with friends, if you include other people, to kind of balance out the competition.
Cool. And just like one more thing, like your idea is really good. Like be excited about it. You guys, like you're smiling now, but like when you're presenting, like be excited because this is a great idea, and obviously it looks like you guys care about it. So like the passion you guys put into it, and like if you guys show a little bit more passion and like more excited about it, it's gonna make everyone else automatically a lot more excited about it. But great job, guys.
I agree. This is a great idea. I love that it has a gigantic total addressable market. If you're going to spend the time and energy required to start a business, pick one that can get really big if it works, because it's going to take all of your energy and all of your effort. So you want that big upside if it works. People are passionate about their hobbies. They spend money on their hobbies. Most of my questions about the financial model have been answered. I wonder, have you given thought to a forum, right? Once people, if somebody's going to learn a hobby, right, there's the initial, customer acquisition where you bring them in because they want to learn something, right? And particularly if you have some obscure stuff, right? Because you have people that are like, there's not that big of a following, but the people that are in it go deep, right? And so if there's like 12 people that do this one thing, right, and once you get them, you want to have an ongoing forum and attach some recurring revenue stream to keeping them connected. Have you thought about that ongoing revenue stream and how you would do it?
Yeah, so actually on our overall idea slide, it got cut off, but the bottom chunk of it was a forum for people to share their experiences with what they thought of the class. They had questions like that the teachers couldn't answer to like how they wanted it, but mainly just like a space to share pictures of what you're doing and like get into it with other people that you don't know.
Because what you don't want to do is be disintermediated from the value you're creating by putting people together, right? So there's the initial transfer of skills where people are acquiring skills necessary for their hobby, but then you don't want them to go away, right? People are making friends and have similar interests, right? You want to profit from that forum of bringing people together and keeping them together. Great idea.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Great job.
All right, next, and our second to last group is Game Vision. Oh, there you are.
Good evening. Who here loves sports? You raise your hand, please. Good, because Game Vision is going to revolutionize the sports media world. So, the problem. Ever since sports has been broadcasted live, viewership has been on a steady decline due to the fact that camera angles haven't been able to really pick up, new and diverse ways to, view when players are playing on the game. So whether it be on the court, on a field, on the course, it's usually the same 2 to 3 angles where it's kind of from far away and you're not really getting the close-up and interactive view. So our solution is that we're developing an app that will allow you to watch your favorite players anywhere, anytime. You could be in Uber in your living room on the toilet. You could be watching your favorite players with our high-tech cameras and microphones that will be attached to the players' jerseys, helmets, hats, etc. So, for price planning, we're going to be starting out with $50 a month or $500 a year. And for what we're offering,
That's way cheaper than, getting courtside seats at a basketball game, and that's enough said.
All right, so you guys might be wondering, why is our company different? Or why do we stand out? So we're going to have different types of sizes, so you could go from a bigger picture, a smaller picture. We're going to have real-time stats and insights. We're going to have a box score. We're also going to have a live chat where users using our app will be able to interact with other people watching the same game, give their own opinions on the game, and we're going to have like an interactive system in our app. And then we're also going to bring the best video quality we have available. We want our users to have the best possible experience while using our app, and we're going to try to do anything in our power to give them that experience. So based on a survey we conducted a couple months ago, we figured that about 65% of our users will be men and 35 would be women. And we figured that our target group would be about like high school to college kids, because us high school and college kids, we love watching sports. I mean, Sunday football, like, we're just on the couch all day watching football. Also, like, dads, dads watch games with their kids. We're going to bring a new perspective to this. You'll be able to go from a running back to a quarterback to a wide receiver, all different types of camera angles. So how are we going to market our product? So we plan on using social media, because everyone's on social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Also, we're going to try to partner with like ESPN, all these big companies, sports companies. We're going to try and get out there to these big sporting events, maybe set up like tents, give people like free demos of our product, and let them see what it's all about. So we plan to start off small. Maybe not like the professional leagues. Like you guys know how there's like umpire cam and stuff like in baseball. We plan to start off maybe in like the minor leagues and then build up from there. Oculus, ESPN, GoPro would be a really good partnership that we plan on attaining in the near future. And yeah, that's it.
If this works, you'll make billions. Right? You remember the guy that did GoPro? He sold his business for billions, and that was, was just one big camera that people would put on their head. I wonder how practical, and I'm not sure how much you've investigated the technology that would be required. Can you make it small enough, wireless enough, such that it wouldn't impair the athletes, that there wouldn't be resistance to adoption of the technology?
Well, we figured that obviously in like football, like a contact sport like that, we would have to like take precautions because we know these cameras could break. So we would have to try and find a way, like partnering with these companies like Canon and stuff, to like insert like smaller cameras maybe onto like players' jerseys and stuff. But that would be like we would have to test it out first before going to like the actual like leagues and stuff.
And going back to the umpire cam thing, that's actually been a huge improvement because they integrated cameras into the umpires' helmets so that it's seamless for them because they're the ones regulating the games. They have to be able to make the calls in tight situations with that helmet on and the camera attached to their head, and that hasn't impaired anything. So we're thinking, if we could do that with the football helmets, baseball helmets, there shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, people would feel like they were in the game.
Exactly.
Insane.
Yeah, it's like a video game. Yeah.
It would be awesome. I love the idea of it. I'm struggling a little bit with the actual delivery of the offering, but I think it's really cool.
Thank you.
Well done. Thank you.
To build off that, I think it's like obviously an awesome idea as a college kid watching sports all the time.
But
So
as a dad,
yeah,
dads love sports.
There's nothing wrong with it. But otherwise, I feel like you're kind of bringing like Twitter, like an ESPN, and then game day, like all into one. You get the stats, you get the game, you get everything you want, and you get the Twitter side of people talking about the game. But my question would be like, there's a difference between an umpire's cap and a football player's helmet. I think maybe finding the technology would be difficult unless it was like integrated into the helmet or into the jersey. And then what would that cause? Could that cause the players harm? And with the players don't even like playing on turf anymore. So getting them to put something else, that would be a problem that I would foresee. And then what would stop like the NFL or the NBA just doing it themselves? Like they mic players up all the time. I'm pretty sure the refs have cameras in a lot of sports. Like what would stop them from just integrating it into the players themselves?
So if they were going to integrate it, we assume they would have done so already. So we're going to try to bring the idea to them, and hopefully that's how it works out.
Very good. Thank you.
Right. I love the idea also. I thought the best idea that you said was that you could choose which player that you wanted to listen to, because to me that's the breakthrough idea. As AJ just said, there's already, and as you guys know, there's already individuals selected who are mic'd up, but I think to be able to select your favorite player and listen to that player is a really cool idea. I think the biggest difficulty is going to be what you might have to pay the leagues and the players for the privilege, and then there's all of this name, image, likeness issue with the players and compensating them, even at the college and the lower minor league level. So that's just something to think about: is what is your cost going to be, and what is the license fee going to be to people like the NFL?
Yeah, for sure.
But great job.
Thank you.
Great job, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, and finally, we've come to our last group, Bergen County Capital.
I'm Mark Blair.
And I'm Jake Taramina, and this is Bergen County Capital.
So I will be running the operations sector of our business. I've worked in residential lending for 2 years, and I also worked as a financial analyst and a market researcher at a software company called SiteTracker. And one of my advisors, my father, Jim Blair, who has 20 years of experience in both real estate and residential lending.
I'd be in the business development, and I've helped assist carpenters in turning over and remodeling low-income apartments. My advisor would be my dad, who's worked 25 years of experience in low-income real estate.
So when we look around in our towns, we see all these wonderful homes, but no one sees the work that goes behind these homes. The contractors that put these buildings up, they're hardworking blue-collar people. And one of the biggest problems they have is getting a loan for these properties. When they go to apply for a loan, the banks have a slow and costly process for them to obtain a loan. And in their industry, time is money. For every day that goes by, you have property taxes accruing, you have interest accruing, you have subcontractors waiting for you to act, right? And these effects are compounded when you have multiple projects going on at the same time. For example, you have one building that you need the money from that building in order to start your next project. The solution is an alternative funding mechanism, which we simplify and we make the process cheaper for builders, and it's also much quicker. So the way we do this is we'd eliminate the junk fees that banks charge. We'd also have 1% lower interest rate on the loan that we provide, and we'd have quicker approvals for the contractors. And then we'd fund this loan by offering investors a fixed 7% annual return. This is a case study of what a property would look like. So the builder this is a $329,000 property. The builder put a down payment of $129,000 plus closing costs. We provide a loan of $200,000, and then for each part of the building, the builder puts up. So let's say puts the foundation in. The property value has now increased, so we could loan the builder more money. So with those increases, we'd have another $300,000 in loans, and this would total $500K as the total loan. The interest rate would be 13%, and the sale price of this property would be $900,000. The contractor would save $12,950 from using us instead of a traditional bank. And then upon completion of the project, we'd have $42,250 in interest, $22,750 would be paid to our investors, and we would profit $19,500.
So the requirements. So we are raising private investment capital in a $100,000 minimum for also a minimum of 2 years. Our target audience would be
young investors, typically around the age of 30 to 40 years. The biggest thing for us would be giving back the money after the 2 years to make sure that the investors see that we've actually made them money and not scammed them. This will help us create lifelong relationships and work in the future. Our targeted returns are from 12.5 to about 14.5. These calculations are based on the current prime rate of 8.5, and as you can see up there, the prime rate plus 400 basis points, and then the high-end prime rate plus 600 basis points. This approach ensures us consistency in our investment strategy and also gives us a nice profit. In order to scale, we need to spread the word about our savings and the investment opportunity we offer. This process is easy and repeatable because the contractors love the savings that we offer. On top of that, this will help us expand from North Jersey all the way down to South Jersey and then eventually the tri-state area. Next slide.
So what we need to do in order to do this, you talk to any contractor, they have a big book of contacts that they can reach out to for their projects. We need to do something similar where we need to get to know contractors, we need to get to know realtors, we need to get to know lawyers, we need to get to know accountants, so that we have greater outreach not only with finding contractors, but also with finding other investors. We also need to gain our funding from the investors, and then from there we can start closing our deals.
So, as you can see, Venmo's up there, $100,000, 2 years. Let's get started. And that's it.
All right, I'll get my questions in first because you may not be aware, but one of the judges is the chairman of a bank. So this will be
I was liking this idea.
That's right. It's like a belt-high inside fastball for you. So, love the subject matter expertise. Very credible presentation. You guys clearly have spent some time around this area. I was a little bit confused. So clarify for me, the 7%, is it both the rate at which you're proposing to lend, or that's the return that you're promising investors?
That's what the return we promise to investor, and that's the cash flow will be paid out each month, and then upon the end of your investment, you get the lump sum back.
Okay. And so you're generally going to be putting the paper out at like prime plus 400 to prime plus 600.
That's what we would loan to the contractors at, and then the difference between those two is our profit.
And so the contractors are generally folks that are building something, right? There's a physical asset to which you can attach for collateral. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And you'll step in and go faster than a bank and lend money cheaper than a bank?
So surprisingly, it's not
Say
the 1%.
Faster but more expensive.
No. So we do have 1% less interest, but the main thing that saves the contractors the most money is the quicker approval process. Because whenever you have a draw a draw is when you want to loan further money, the banks take days, like weeks to approve it, whereas we would be able to go in there in a day or two and get the loan approved, and then we just saved that many days of interest, property tax, and any other fees that might occur from the excess time.
It's cool, definitely a market, especially for this type of business, because banks generally are not doing a lot of construction loans for that type of work in this kind of market. I would suggest to you that you would probably need to offer your investors higher than a 7% rate of return in this environment when somebody can go out and buy a 6-month T-bill for close to 5% right now, right? Getting 200 basis points for taking the risk, probably not enough of a premium to entice people to invest the capital. But great idea, great presentation.
Great job, guys, on the presentation. It was really clean, really good. You guys presented really well. I guess my only question is, what kind of properties would you guys target?
So mostly the main properties we want to target is more suburban homes, not really city homes, and that's just because we have more knowledge in that area, so we would know we would have a better understanding of the development of the house and what the process that would entail.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I did start a bank, and we do a lot of this type of lending. Just a couple of thoughts. Would you be taking or holding a reserve just in case some of the loans or one or two of the loans went bad?
So if anyone defaulted on a loan, so we try to keep lower than a 65% loan to value ratio to discourage. But if someone would still default on a loan, we would have cash reserves, so the investor we could maintain the 7% return with the investor, and then obviously because of the 65% loan to value ratio, we would actually make more profit because they'd be leaving money on the table. But we'd still be able to maintain consistency with our investors as we go through the foreclosure process.
And then I do agree with Joe's comments. I think you don't want to be 1% below the banks. I think you want to be at least 1% higher than the banks because people will pay for speed and for less red tape. And so I think that that's really what you're going to be selling. And then just one other thing to consider is you're not going to want to give the investors their money back after 2 years. Because otherwise you're going to have to go out and raise another $100,000 from them 2 years later. So you're going to want to just pay them the interest and keep the capital on hand.
Thanks, guys. Great job. Okay, that completes our presentations for the night. It's funny because as I'm sitting over there and I'm listening to these guys, I'm watching the TV in the back, and it's Shark Tank. And obviously I can't hear what's going on, but the one presentation that I'm looking at was a company that had wheels that were not round. How that works, I don't know. Maybe I had to hear it, but in my mind, these guys have much better ideas. So let's give them all a round of applause. So we're going to give our judges some time to tally up their scores and pick a couple of winners. In the meantime, while they're doing that, please help yourself to more food. And I just want to let you guys know what they're competing for. I told you about the cash awards that we talked about before. But the winner of this competition also gets to continue their presentation skills by going to a regional venture showcase down at Rutgers back down on February 28th. And if they are successful there, then they get to proceed on to a international competition at the University of Delaware with the group that put all this together called the Diamond Showcase, which is an international high school competition. Teams come, there's thousands of teams that enter into the competition. Schools come from all over the world. It's international. The last time that we were down there, we met teams from Hong Kong, from India, from all over the country, Florida, California, and so forth, all competing for, again, cash prizes with no strings attached. The prizes were upwards around $13,000 to $15,000 for the winning presentations that they could use, hopefully to keep their projects, go invest in their projects or go towards college, but there were no strings attached. They could use it for anything they want. And it's really a fun time to go down there. All the groups that work hard, but that's also something that's at stake for our winning group here. So we'll let the judge, give the judge a few minutes again, help yourself to whatever food is. I'm sure there's plenty left over there. Get there before the kids get there.
Good evening, everyone. If you could find your seats. The judges have made their decision. I'll turn this over to Mr. Saunders. But before we do, I'd like a round of applause, please, for our judges and their help tonight. Mr. Saunders will also invite the winning team up on the stage for some pictures as well, and with our judges. So, Mr. Saunders.
Thank you, Dr. Mahoney. Yeah, as I said before, these guys were terrific. I was telling some of the parents before, every year I come into it and I see the students in the beginning of the year, and I'm thinking of this competition, and I'm thinking that half the class is going to just kind of sleepwalk their way through this. And every year they really impress me. They really work hard. They come through and they knock it out of the park. And every year gets a little better than the years before. Sorry, AJ. But yeah, so congratulations to all the guys for all your hard work and your presentations tonight. You really did knock it out of the park. Right now, I'd like to invite our judges up here. I'll let them do the honors of announcing the winners. All right, we'll start with third place.
Third place.
I'll do third place. Sure. Okay, third place, the Game Vision folks.
Noah, Dan.
Congrats.
Well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hold on, I gotta get up on my tipping fence.
Okay, thank you.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Way to go, guys.
Good job. All right, AJ.
I'll do second place. In second place, we have Tutor to Go.
Judges and Tutor to Go. Are you ready? Thank you.
Great job, boys.
Thank you.
Good job, guys. And our winning team.
Okay, yes. Well, on behalf of the judges, we just want to tip our cap to all of the participants tonight. We were really, really impressed, blown away, quite frankly, by the preparation, the concepts, the articulation, the presentation. It was really good. When I think back to my time here, two generations ago, business was an abstract concept, something that I can't recall any of my friends being as advanced in their thoughts and preparation for business. So really, really well done. It's amazing to see so much talent and so many great ideas and enthusiasm. So really, really well done, everybody. And this was a really hard decision, right? I mean, and it's an imperfect science. It's very subjective, right? I mean, we're trying to weigh things based on the quality of the idea, the applicability of the concept. Could it work? How big was the addressable market? And of course, the presentation and preparation of the team. So all of those, factored together. At the end of the day, the judges made the decision that Bergen County Capital is the first place team. Congratulations, guys. Way to go. Congrats, bud. Way to go.
Bergen County Capital and the judges.
I'm standing next to the tall guys.
Thank you.
Wait, one more.
Oh, there we go.
Thanks, guys.
Good job, Mr.
Thank you. Great job.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you, Mrs. Saunders.
Just one quick thing for the guys who didn't win, because I didn't win when I was in this competition. Don't give up. It could still kind of work out. Like, obviously, seeing someone else win is tough, even though you guys all put in a lot of effort, and we all saw that. Just keep going. Like, don't be discouraged by one failure. You'll learn more from this than you will from anything you actually succeed at. So I said it last year, and I'm going to say it again this year.
Well said. Just real quick, I really enjoyed the competition. I thought everyone did a really great job, and it's so great to see young entrepreneurs in action. So thanks to the guys.
And great job, Mr. Saunders. Great job, Mr. Saunders.
Okay, that concludes everything for this evening. I want to thank everybody for coming out and watching and supporting our guys. I want to thank especially the parents, because I know there are some parents in here and there's some not people here who aren't parents of our presenters. But anyway, thank you all for coming out, taking the time out of your evenings to come and be with us. I always enjoy doing this. This is the night that I look forward to all year long. I want to thank again our judges for taking time out of their schedules to come. And congratulations to our 3 winners. Any last words, Dr. Maloney?
Just want to thank you all for coming, and judges, the boxes are for you, a token of our appreciation, what's inside, and we thank you for your time tonight. It was wonderful to have all 3 of you here. Thank you.
so much.
There's still plenty of food left over there. Help yourself.